Ryan Coogler's Sinners has been the champion for cinema in 2025. Coogler is no stranger to finding the sweet spot between cinematic spectacle blockbuster filmmaking that still has a ton of depth, aka just a fucking great movie. I envy everyone who got to see this in true IMAX and with the biggest and boldest and best and loudest Dolby Atmos, because on both visual and auditory front, this movie is close to perfect. I don't believe anyone can get through that big musical long take sequence without being moved and getting goosebumps. It also flawlessly executes Michael B. Jordan's dual role with both the technical intricacy of the camera work and Jordan's discernible performances for both Smoke and Stack that extend way beyond apparel. It's not like that they're on screen together like the whole movie, but when they are, it really seems also seamless. Now that is a lot of praise, and that's all warranted, but I'm not all praise with the film. One major shortcoming to me is the editing. Something about it just didn't really click with me whenever it inserted and flashes back to memories. It often felt like reminders for a less attentive audience, or an exclamation mark for emphasis, when I felt like it detracted more than it added to those moments. But that's about all I got as far as critiques go. The whole cast is a ton of fun. Delroy Lindo is always special, and Miles Canton nails his debut role. I mean, that voice. Wunmi Mosaku has something about her that draws me in with all of her characters, and Haley Steinfeld is a smaller part of the film, but it makes me really happy to see an original film like this do so well commercially, but I think also more importantly culturally. Once or twice a year we get a film like this that seems to be embraced by the letterbox and the online cinephile crowd, and also goes into the mainstream as well with an abundance of passion. And I think after Dune 2 last year, Sinners seems to be the latest one that is really also deserving of the spotlight. By now this film has been out for a couple of weeks, so I assume most of you have already had the time to see it. But if you haven't already, I urge you to do that, or at least listen to the score and the soundtrack. Ludwig Göransson cannot be stopped. Coogler and him have already worked together on his films dating back to his 2011 short film Fig, and this pairing is just incredibly powerful. The score often takes the forefront of the experience. At the start of the film, I had to get adjusted to that a bit, but once I fully embraced it, it felt like the movie almost like opened up in a way. The film also has like these two parts to themselves: the setup before the party starts and then everything after. We spend a lot of time getting to know these characters in a way that feels like fun exposition, and that's, you know, harder than it sounds to do well. And at its core, I think this is a story about the collective experience to me, through music, through violence, through hurt, the way that it gets taken from you, stolen, the way that you embrace it. It has a ton of things that really linger with you and gives you so much to think and talk about after it's done. It's the best type of film, and I think it's all of these little things that add up to make this such a knockout hit for so many people. It's got elements of like a very genre film in the second half after the crime thriller drama setup from the first. But let me know if I'm wrong about this, but the final push-in on smoking would have worked even better for me if it weren't part of a montage. But maybe I'm just wrong and it needed a bit more of like that kinetic energy right there. I just felt like it worked for me without it. I ended up on a, I guess overall still kind of low for the amount of praise I gave it, a 7.5 out of 10. But let me know in the comments why it deserves to be a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 or more. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.